Do 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 do. Banana. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Banana. Just setting up the background stuff here real quick. Just gonna take a minute. Then we'll get started. Can't wait for people to get in here anyway, you know what I mean? So click this. Click this. Nope. Close that, mute that. Copy. Copy that. Boop. Boop. Go over here. Click this. Come hang out. Yep, send it, paste it, post it. There's that. Close that. Do 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 do. Banana. Do 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 do. Banana. We live. And post. Last one. There. All right, that's gone. That's done. That's done. Oh, we got a bunch of people coming in now. All right, so we can pause this. Let's scroll up, put this in live chat. All right, what up, Floyd? What up, Trip? What up, Rocco? What up, Monique? I like that. I like that shield you got there. Nice looking star. Woo! I'm on my way home from work. Just seen it. Yeah, we literally just started it. What's up, Super? What up, Sasha? Goblin, Scott, Ziv, Flyby, Kent, Luis, Mitchell, Terry, Sled. GT, I've been charged since October for the site, but can't access it. Cody, send me an email, buddy, to the grow10@gmail.com. That's the number 2, the grow10@gmail.com, or message me on the Discord if you're still on there. Is PFG2 the Super Grape? PFG2 is its own line, but PFG Super Grape was a version. It was a special drop in the Gen 2 line. What up, Zib? What up, Brandon? What up, Side? You still playing with your computer? Yeah, I still play with my computers all the time. What up, Nothing? What up, Vincent? What up, Mobile? Canna, Cliff, the Smoke Ring, Stan. You have a video for germinating. Yeah, I probably got 5 of them. Literally, if you just go to my channel and type in germination, there's got to at least be 4 or 5 or more, probably 20-minute videos. Oh, it's a blizzard there. Oof. All of our snow melted in like 2 days. My like button is broken. Anyone else's? What up, Andrew? What up, Ballistic? What up, Wavy? What up, Ronster? What up, Chip? What's up, Rotank? Got to work later. Oof, I'm at the office right now. I got a pretty cool office though. Like, look, you can see. Let's see, this is like some of the stickers that I've made over the years, and then it goes like this whole wall, and then they're on this ceiling part of this desk also. But look at my shipping table back here. Look at all the stickers that we've made over the years. Just it goes across the whole table. Like the whole table's just covered. I'm thinking about it, after I get more on there, I think I'm gonna like chop all the metal and stuff off like the bottom side of the table, and I'm gonna hang it up and just turn it into like a piece of artwork for a wall. You got 4 foot with 2 more on the way. Oh, that's too much snow. I can't stop smoking the sour grape rock candy. Did you all realize how much she stinks? My God, yeah, dude. Like, I just got a pack of somebody sent me back a pack of the sour grape rock candy. So we're gonna be doing a pheno hunt with it, and hopefully, if I can find the right mother, we'll do a Gen 2 drop of it. What nutrients do you recommend for veg state? So for veg state, I just use the general hydroponics line is what I use for everything. We've done it we've used it for hydro systems. We've used it for ebb and flow systems. We use it for soil. We've used it for cocoa. It works really, really well. And I don't it's not that I prefer it over anything else. It's just my channel is mainly directed towards new people, and it's generally the easiest for them to find. It's the biggest, so that's why I use it. Woo! People freaking. I start every single one of my days starts off with strawberry mimosa. Every single one. Hey, what up, Loam? How's it going, buddy? Your boss seems cool. Yeah, probably. Definitely doesn't mind all my cool stickers. What's up, GTs? GT. So as long as I feed them right, I can use small pots and not worry about the roots. That's cool. Yeah, that's 100% factual. So if you actually, I was going to say, if you go on my Instagram, you can look at. I had plants that were 4+ foot tall and this big around, and I had them in a 1-gallon pot in 5 inches of soil, and that was all they were in, and they were literally 4 foot tall and this big around, branches everywhere. Now, I'm not saying it's not a pain in the ass, but I literally did it just to prove that, I was getting these pictures where people would send me their plant in a 3-gallon pot, and they were having like a little 6-inch plant, and they're like, it's not growing anymore. I'm pretty sure it's root bound. And it used to, I was just like, no, that it's not root bound. That's not the problem. So it was one of those things where I did it just to show people that you could grow big plants and root bound. Having this thing where they would give this excuse is that the plant was root bound, is why it wasn't growing, was just silly. So that's why I did it. I mean, my pictures from Instagram are all gone, which really sucks because it was like a decade's worth of really cool pictures that all got deleted. And what are you gonna do? But it was just, now, did I have to water this stupid ass plant like 5 times a day? Yeah, because there was only this much soil, and a plant that big drank a lot. So we definitely had to water it like 5 times a day, but it was just to show people that, don't be silly. It's basically what it was. So, busy weekend ahead of me, and we'll be in trim jail with the blueberry that's chopped on Monday. Need to transplant blueberry spacewalk and flip the flower. What's the rooms available? Dude, I've been having a lot of people that really liking that blueberry spacewalk. Here soon. I've been planning to start some cash. Got a baby coming first, then it's on. Nice. That's a good reason to delay it. I recently switched from Advanced Nutrients to Canna Aqua, and it's so much better and a lot cheaper. I always say just grab the cheap shit. The plant can't tell the difference. Use whatever you like. It all works the same. What's going on, villain? Haven't been able to grow for like 5 months now. It's been miserable. Life is better with a garden. I'm not disagreeing with you at all there. Growing it's literally it's almost like anxiety medication for me. Like, I don't know what it is, but I can be having like the craziest week, and the second I get into my grow room and, like, let's say I'm transplanting or whatever, the second I get my hands into soil, dude, something freak mentally just happens. And I love it. I'll grow for the rest of my life if I'm able to. Oh. Let's see. Someone say stickers. Okay, we already went through that part of the chat. All right, I'm running 42 Fast Buds Gorilla Cookies and Strawberry Banana. That all sounds fantastic. Love the root bound video. Great job. Thank you. That one I knew was going to get attention. Same like whenever I smash it. Whenever I smashed it, I took that hygrometer and I smashed it with a hammer and bust. That was a mistake because the glass on that hygrometer was like super thick, and when I hit it with that hammer and shattered it, I had so many little tiny shards. I had them for like a year trying to get them all up off the floor. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was just so much, but that one got a lot of attention too. And same whenever I took the electric hedge trimmer Hey, what's up, Artful? Same whenever I took the electric hedge trimmer and I chopped the plants in half. That was really just a video because I had saw a different video where people were putting on like gloves and like sterilizing their trim scissors and stuff like that to top. And they were just talking about how precise you had to be and you had to chop the plant exactly this much distance between this node and this node, and you had to be completely clean surface or it was going to introduce sickness into the plants. And literally can't stand video. I can't stand when people say stuff like that. I'm like, do you think when this plant is out in nature and a deer comes up and just eats the whole top of the plant, are they paying attention? Like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Deer, you can only eat between this node and this node at this exact distance. No, the fucking deer just eats the whole top of the plant. And then it moves on to the next one and eats the whole top of the plant. There's no, you know how it doesn't ever brush its teeth. It doesn't have a hygienic mouth. No, it just eats the top of the fucking plant. The plant doesn't give a shit and just grows bigger. It's nature's own form of topping. It's the plant just comes the deer just comes by and eats the whole top of the plant. So I just got on there and I picked up a dirty set of hedge trimmers and I just the whole entire canopy. I think it was I did it once in a 2x4. I did it once in a 5x5. I just raked the freaking thing, just chopped the whole plants in half. And then I showed it again what it did look like the next week. And they all looked beautiful. So that was the whole point of that. What's up, GT? Blueberry Spacewalk is almost week 2 of flower and already got Rainbow Sherbert in the DWC. She's little, but she's thriving. Genetics are always fire. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have I ever ran anything from Romulan? No, I have not. It's a really cool freaking name, though. I dig it. It would be cool if it was like Romulan genetics and then it was like the names of their ships. It was like their lines. GT, do you ever regret naming a strain before the smoking report? I would say I regret it, but I've kind of gotten to the point where I try to name them just names I think are cool instead of having like stuff in the name. But a lot of times like before my releases, I've already done like torture tests and stuff like that. So. And then other times I like to let the memberships, I like to let them do the names, and if I think it sounds cool, then we go with it. So dun, dun, dun. What's up, GT? Hope all's well. Almost ready to flip some Magic County Mountain OG and some Hawkberry. That sounds awesome. Yeah, the next drop we have coming up, we have the collaboration with Dark Horse Genetics. We have the Bruce Banner S3, and then we were originally going to cross it with the PFG, but I put it up to a vote, and it got crossed with Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer, so that was cool. Oh, this freaking chat just switched to top chat. I just completely lost my place. Come on, flip this back to live chat. I don't understand why this does this. It constantly, if I just want it to stay in live chat. Like I don't want it to change from top chat to live chat, but I'll be sitting here talking. I've got my chat pause, and then it just click, and I see the chat start moving again. I look over and flip to top chat, and I just see the chat going ding 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 ding, and I lose my spot. How can we amend our Black Friday orders? You just send me a message, and then I can put a note on the order. Yeah, I got all of the hoodies and the white Rasta shirts. Those are all ordered, paid for. So as soon as those are in, we'll be packing orders again. Hey y'all, I just harvested a little early due to spider mites. How long should I wait before growing in that tent room again? So if you don't have any plants going on in your house, spider mites can live for about 3-ish weeks without a plant. So they can leave your plant areas and go other places for about 3 weeks. Personally, if it was me, you don't have anything growing on in there, I would literally just take some what are those things? Pest strips. I would get some pest strips from you can get them off Amazon or anywhere else like that, and just hang them up in the room for a few weeks. and fumigate that whole area. It'll kill every single spider mite that is in that area, and they'll all be dead. So that's one way you can do. But yeah, just no pest strips, I think they're called, and they're like $7 or $8 a piece. Just hang like 2 of them up in your room. Don't hang out in that room while those are up in there, and that'll kill every single spider mite in that entire room. How many shirts and hoodie orders were there? I don't. There wasn't. It wasn't like it was a ton because it wasn't like anything that I like promoted or anything like that. I literally just did that sale like that week. I think there was only like 500, so it wasn't anything crazy, which I don't mind because 500 shirts is one thing. 500 hoodies is a fucking ton. So I'm not upset about not having 2,000 hoodies. It would be so many boxes. You got your new Instagram page still, right? Yeah, if you want to go to my new page on Instagram, it is just WTTGT underscore CEO. So that's my new Instagram right there. It's just WTTGT underscore CEO. I put it over in the chat. Just look for that little yellow box, and it says it right after it. GT and Dark Horse. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. And then I got 2 mothers. I need to talk to Chris. I need to talk to Mr. Growit. I need to talk to Mr. Growit and see what he wants to do. I have 2 mothers of Magic Candy Mountain OG. I have one of each of the different phenos. So with the Magic Candy Mountain OG, we have like the one that's like cotton candy, and then we have there's one pheno that kind of smells like cotton candy, and then the other one is like lemony and earthy. And I have a mother of each of them. So I need to talk to Chris and see if he would be interested in doing a generation 2 with it, and which way he would like to pursue. I imagine it'll lean more towards the cotton candy because the lemony earthy is really just those are some of the traits of his line. So I imagine we'll probably, I haven't talked to him. I know that everybody's out at like MJ BizCon this week. I actually had Vivo's son reach out to me, and they were like, hey, if you were going to be out here for MJ BizCon, we would like you to come hang out in the booth and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm not going to make it. I have stuff at the office I have to be doing. So I do. Once again, I am missing MJ BizCon. But hey, what do you know? What are you going to do about it? Do the candy one, call it Tuesday? I think we would probably just call it Magic Candy Mountain OG Gen 2. But I do like the Tuesday name. The Magic Candy Mountain OG pheno I have is sweet, earthy, and really gassy. Yeah, that's cool. That's like exactly what I was going for. GT, I got my stuff in a tin can, like 80 of them in a drawer. What's the expectancy on like that? As long as you keep them at room temperature, you keep them away from like high humidity kind of areas, and just keep them at normal like room temperature and keep them out of the light. Like, let me just right now. Hold on. I actually here I have a bunch in Pokemon. You can hear them in there. This was my original vault from back in the day, and it is a Pokemon vault, a little lunchbox, and it's metal. It's literally sitting in a drawer right here. Obviously, the vault. My stash has outgrown that vault, but that's where it started. But yeah, so. But yeah, those little hot shot no pest strips. There you go. That's what they're called. The chat switches on the phone too, dude. Yeah, see, so I'm not by myself here. Like I will pause it. I have it in live chat, and it just goes. I see it. Like I have it paused, and it sits over on the side of my screen, and I'm watching it, and it just goes. and I see it like flash up and down, and then I look up, and instead of being live chat across the top, it says top chat. I don't understand why I can't just have live chat. Like, why does it switch around like that? I don't get it. And somebody was asking, because somebody was asking about the Twitter. Yes, I do have Twitter. So I've had some people that have found me on Twitter. And let's see. If you're looking for me on Twitter, it is at W. I have to look it up because I'm not completely sure of it. I don't use Twitter a ton, but I do use it. So if you're looking for me on Twitter, that is my, let's see, I don't know which way the freaking chat is. I think it's over there. It's just at WGrow10. Make that all one word. So it's literally just at WGrow10. And that's my Twitter. Oh, man, what goodies are in there? It's nothing crazy. Like the drawer below it is like way better than what's in there. This would actually probably be some older stuff. So we've probably got about 30 packs still of PFG2 Extreme Grape is what I originally called it, but then I moved it to Super Grape. It's just, you can see this is old note. The ink is actually fading off of the paper to where it doesn't look right anymore. But this was the original name for Super Grape. Whenever I wrote this, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was calling it PFG2 Extreme Grape Feno. So I've got some of that in there. What else we got in here? This was a little note that I made. This is like one of my original drops timeline for getting everything working and together. That's probably from 2019. You can tell I don't get in this thing very much anymore. I've got a whole bag of Master Kush. Let's see, some White Widow. I have some Critical Jack in here. What's this one? Oh, some of these I labeled them. I put acronyms on them, and I don't remember what they are because I've not been in this. I probably have not opened this for probably 4 or 5 years. But I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff in there. So, GT, how long? So I hope that answered your question about what was in there. Nothing crazy. I literally haven't opened that box. It's literally been sitting in that drawer for 5 years. Hey GT, is there a way to make sure we don't get the same bird food with the orders as last time? Yeah, you just put a note on the order. That's how you do that. And so whenever you're checking out, there's literally a little box that says add note, and you just add a note. Did you catch the episode of First Smoke of the Day with Todd McCormick? I thought there was a lot of history and information he talked about. That's really awesome. I have not seen that yet, but I'll write myself a little note and make sure I check it out. All right, got it. I'll have to watch it. Yo, GT, how long did you run the Flower Magic Candy Mountain OG? My first couple rounds, 9 weeks is what I ran all mine. So, usually right towards the end of 8 weeks. I'm like a 5% amber kind of guy, and that's where I seem to like mine. So usually mine's right around week 8, the end of week 8, beginning of week 9. I've got some buddies that are like, they like 50% amber. So a lot of times they have to go into like week 14. They have to go to like week 14 is all their flowers, like every single one, this is the nice part about this plant. You can kind of customize what you want out of your medicine to help you by just how long you grow it. So whereas I cut down at week 9 every time, they cut down at week 14 just because they like 50% cloudy, 50% amber is what they're looking for. So that's whenever they're cutting down. So they have to factor that in to all of their grows is they're not going to have a 2-month grow or flower. They're going to have an almost 4-month flower. But the nice part is, they're using it as medicine, and that's what really helps them is they really like that 50% amber. So, they just have to anticipate that whenever they're growing, because they're not going to do a 2-month flower or just over a 2-month flower. They are going to literally be in flower for almost 4 months. And luckily they're really good growers. So they have a very short, very, very short veg time. So there's no like, oh yeah, I had a 9-week veg and then a 14-week flower. Oof, Jesus, look. Well, got those are, everything in there is pre-COVID. That is 100% correct. Can you tell us about micronutrients, like where they come from? So if you are growing, and if you are growing, like silica is technically a micronutrient. So basically, if you're growing in anything like Fox Farms pre-amended, they all have any kind of micronutrients in there. Or if you're doing anything inert, like if you go to what is Scotty's freaking yellow bag of stuff called? His all-in-one, what is recharge? So if you do stuff like Scotty's recharge, it has like all the micronutrients and stuff already in the bag. So, but you'd be surprised, like you could go, like there's enough micronutrients in just a single bag of any of the Fox Farms to last the whole grow. Is there a pack of seeds that are like prized possessions? I don't know if it would be like the packs of seeds, but definitely I have cuts that are prized possessions. Hey, what up, Miller? But I definitely have cuts that are prized possessions that I wouldn't want anything to happen to. But I don't know about, because the thing is with whenever you're dealing with seeds is you use the seeds because you're always going to get an assortment of the phenotype. So you use the seeds, find the pheno you like of it, and then you turn that into a mother, and then that mother gives you unlimited cuts of that exact genetic. Send me some sunglasses. I don't have any extra sunglasses. I was hoping he'd find a forgotten bag of sour grape rock candy. Well, it's a funny thing you should mention that, because of a couple of nice where is it? Hold on, I'm searching. I'll put them in here somewhere. A nice person. We got that. They sent us some other stuff in. So we got that. And then we got that. So, because of an awesome person that still had a pack, we got a bag of SGRC. Hey, what up, Krusty? How deeply have you gone on the Spartan Skunk OG to focus on the scope? 0. I have gone 0. I actually gave that out to the public and said everybody could do with it, search through it with what they want, because I am not allowed to grow it. My wife absolutely hates it. So, happy wife, happy life. But there's been 3 lines that she has completely banned me from ever growing again. Spartan Skunk OG was, Crescendo was the first one. She's like, that smells like plastic burning. It smells so terrible. So you had Crescendo, and then Spartan Skunk OG. I'm not allowed to grow it in the house anymore because the wife hates the smell of hated the smell of it. So I mean, I said, if you got that, you guys can do whatever you want with that line. I am never allowed to make it again, unless somebody finds one of those. Was it the black grapefruit version? Send me a cut of it, because I have a feeling that probably doesn't smell like the skunk version that I had. So What's up, Alex? Yeah, recharge. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, sour grape rock candy was just one I never put any time into because it was the first. It's also one of the main reasons we don't do. I haven't done a double drop since, is because we did Cash and sour grape rock candy drop at the exact same time, and Cash, just being the monster that it is, overshadowed sour grape rock candy so much that I was like, all right, nobody's even talking about it. Everybody was talking about Cash, so I didn't. I just flowered out the mother, and we never paid attention to it again. And then all of a sudden, it had been a few years and everybody had started growing the sour grape rock candy and was like, holy fuck, this shit is awesome. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. But luckily, a really awesome member had one that he had never even opened the package on, and he sent it to me. And now it will be going forward here soon. Well, we'll be at least pheno hunting. So I have there's 8 little possibilities in there, and if we can find the pheno in it, I will turn that into a mother. I will take that mother and grow it up. Well, first I have to flower out everything, and then I have to take clones of it right before I flower it strictly, and label all the clones so I know which plant it came from. I'll take 3 or 4 clones of each. It's just, this is backwards hunting, is ridiculously hard. And then we will put everything in flour. I will see if I find the pheno that I want. It might be a total wash. I might plant all 8, not get the pheno I want, and then the whole thing is trash and we have to start over again. But favorite Flair promo? I mean, the spilled liquor thing is fantastic. So, I mean, how do you beat the spilled liquor? But so we'll see. We have a chance. We have a chance. We're trying, Brandon. I'm trying. Hey, JPP. Oh my God. Oh my effing God. I knew it. We're going to attempt it. No promises. There could be, there's a 25%-ish chance that I can find the pheno that I'm looking for. So we have okay chances, but it's not a guarantee. Emmanuel had a question somewhere. Scroll out. This is my first time growing. I have 2 photoperiods growing, and it's been 4 weeks since germination. So you're just getting ready to leave seedling stage and go into veg. Should I flip them to flower already? No, you were. All right, we're going to talk about timetable real quick, Emmanuel. So whenever you're dealing with photoperiods, they have 3 distinct timelines of their life. From the time you plant them for the first 4 weeks is their seedling stage. You should be at 24 hours of light. You don't have to run 24 hours of light. I do. But they should be at 24 hours of light from 0 to the end of 4 weeks. After that, you're going to switch the light schedule from 18 to 6. So 18 on, 6 off. As soon as you do that, you are entering into the veg state of life. So you have not even started veg. You are into the veg stage of its life. And you start back over at week 1 veg. So you go 0 through week 4 seedling. So you're like, oh, I'm week 4 seedling. All right, we're going to switch it over to veg. All right, great. I'm at week 1 veg. And I don't do that thing where you're like, oh, I'm at week 5, I'm week 6, I'm week 7. Nope, start all over. You're at week 1 veg. Now you're going to veg those 2 plants. Let's say you're in a 3x3 or 2x4. I don't know. Did you say? I don't think you said what size tent you're in. So you are going to take those 2 plants. You're going to up pot them 1 gallons, or most likely where you're going to be at. You're going to put them in 1 gallon pots, and then you're going to put them in your tent. Whenever you have grown them up big enough, veg them large enough. I don't know you personally as a grower. I don't know how long it's going to take you. For me, it's about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks with only 2 plants in 2x4. You are going to grow those plants till they cover half of the floor. So if you look down from the top of the tent, you can only see half the floor because the rest is all green. You are going to now flip that into flower. That is whenever you flip the flower, whenever you cover half of the floor, because remember, these plants double in size and flower. So if you veg them to 50% of your tent is full, whenever you flip them to flower, it will go from 50 to 100%, because if they double in size, 50 times 2 is 100. That means you have filled out your flower area with the flower. Okay. So how long the veg takes you, I don't know. Some people can get it done in 3 weeks. Some people it takes 6 weeks. Also, if you have 2 plants but you're trying to fill out a 5x5, you're probably going to look at like a 12-week veg. So I can't tell you when is the appropriate time to flip in flower, because I don't have all the information. I don't know how you are as a grower. And the information I am trying to tell you is to get the maximum yield out of the available space you have. Do you have to do that? No. Let's say you're like, I don't want to fill out the space that I got. I don't need that much bud. I got a 5x5. I don't need to take down 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of weight every time, because it's just for me. Most people don't think that way, though. Most people want, I'm going to take me 8 weeks to flower. I'm going to get the most out of this tent. That's what most everybody wants. How many blank have you smoked so far, sir? Oh fuck, I don't know. I don't think I could count that high. Nice to see so many people watching. Yeah, not bad for a Monday afternoon. Oh, there it just went to top chat. Boom, boom, boom. I haven't had a chance to grow Magic Candy Mountain, Spark and Skunk, and Strawberry Mimosa. Dude, like those are 3 fantastic ones. Especially like I start every single day with Strawberry Mimosa, and I don't have any Spartan Skunk left at the house as far as smoking. The wife, she fucking hated it. Like whenever I was trimming it, she's like, I can smell the house from half a mile away. Whenever we turned into subdivision, I could smell the house. Oh. Thanks, WR. What are the attributes you? What do you mean, Artful? Oh, wait, here's the rest of the thing. What are you looking for with the sour grape rock candy pheno? It's just the pheno that I remember it whenever I was growing. It's the smell and the taste that I am looking for. It was very pungent, and it was like that sour grape soda is all I could kind of, because it was just like a sour grape soda is how I remember it. God, this fucking chat. Oops. Sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to cuss, but your top chat keeps flipping me and I keep losing my place. What's up, GT and Grow fam? I'm growing my first plant in a long time. My state is becoming medical next month. Nice, bro. I fucking love to hear it. Man, that's 2 F-bombs in like a minute. I'm in trouble. Hey, GT, is it hard to go from soil to hydro? Is it hard? No. Is there a giant learning curve? Yes. So do you mean, are you going from a soil, then going to knock all the soil off the roots and then put them into a hydro system? I don't really recommend that. You can go the other way, but it's generally not a good idea to go from a soil system in that. Or are you talking about you grow in a soil system and now you're going to be moving over to the hydro system? Here's a couple things. So in hydro, the plants grow a lot faster. So if you are not someone who is comfortable staying on top of the training whenever you see it and it needs to be addressed, hydro is probably not a great system for you. If you are somebody that's just not there with the plant training yet, things can get out of hand really, really fast with hydro because the plants grow so much quicker. If you are a person that is okay with the training and staying on top of the plant, great. If you are a person that is meticulous about cleaning and keeping things clean, hydro is great. But if you are not someone that is enthusiastic about keeping things clean or paying attention to the details, hydro is not for you. Okay, things can turn in hydro like that. And with soil or any kind of media-based grows, you have time to fix these things before everything dies. In a hydro system, you have about, I don't know, a 3-ish hour window before everything is dead. And I mean dead, dead. Oh, your air pump went out. Your plant's all suffocated. Oh, the water temperature, the water chiller went out, or the water temperature got too hot or too cold. Hey, everything's dead. Oh, the nutrient mix wasn't quite right. Everything's dead. You know what I mean? I gave one too many glug glugs. Everything's burnt to a crisp and dead. There is no remediation time. There is no fixing time. This is the reason you don't see a lot of cultivation facilities, or any at all really, grow in hydro. And they have teams of people that are working on those plants all day, and they generally do not deal in a hydro system. Well, the returns would be great. The problem is, if anything goes wrong, everything goes wrong really, really fast, and the amount of profit they lose is gigantic. So it's not worth the risk. The juice is not worth the squeeze, as they would say, to run the hydro system. But if you're like me, I sit there and I clean my ebb and flow system reservoir. I drain it completely, let it dry out. I wipe everything down with hydrogen peroxide. I take everything apart and I clean it. I do that every single week, to the reservoir, to the lines, and all that kind of stuff. Then it's fine. It will work out just fine for you. But if you are somebody that is not very clean or detail oriented, or just, I'll let it slide for another week, I would just stay with soil or cocoa. Maybe go to like something kind of in between. So instead of going through like full hydro system or DWC system, maybe get into like cocos with like an auto dripper system where the lines all run to it and it drips the water certain times a day. Maybe I would say go to that, or go to something like an auto pot system where it's a lot easier and you're not into like a full hydro style system yet. Like one of the underneath wicking systems. Go to something like that. They're way easier to stay on top of than actually a full hydro system, or like that ebb and flow system. It's a lot of work keeping up with it. I hope that sufficiently answers your question about that, with going from soil to hydro question. That is correct, Miller, for the question for Scotty. Thank you. Early Lemonberry and then there's the perpetual grow, where plants are always being moved in and out of flower, which is why I cannot scrog. Well, I just have multiple tints, so you can still use the scrog. You don't have to, but you can still use the scrog. I have multiple tints. So, and then I offset them on like whenever they were planted, so that I harvest the tints every other month. But you don't have to use a scrog. You can literally, and then like we did it one time where we used those little bamboo stakes, and I made kind of like a perimeter around the plant, and then I laced the scrog netting. I just had like, not twine, it was yarn, and we just laced it from all the poles, and it made its like own little self-contained little scrog net for it, just for support, because we were doing the bamboo shoots. And then that way each plant had its own little like scrogging system on it. It wasn't really made for training. That was mainly made for support, so the branches wouldn't get hit. Because listen, I got a problem. My poles get really heavy, so if there's no support system, they fall over because they get too heavy. So the little netting system we made was really just for support, not really for training. It's Thursday here. It's Thursday here also. Did I not put Thursday on the title? Yeah, it said Thursday Live AMA. I was like, man, what did I put on the title? Yeah, I completely agree, Artful. Like it's a great way to transition more towards it. If you go to something like straight cocoa or peat moss, rock wool, any of those, it's a great way to transition towards that way and mitigate the risk of it, instead of going full hydro or DWC right away. It's just, especially if you're new, until you really get the handle of training these plants like down, I just don't recommend it, because you really have to be quick with it, because they'll grow up into your lights extremely fast, just because of how fast they grow without it. soil is the slowest way to grow, but it's also the safest way to grow, which is why most people start out there. And as soon as you get the not overwatering down, you can actually get them to grow pretty decently fast in the soil. But it's the one of the reasons we don't allow, any of the hydro systems or DWC in like the growing contest, because it wouldn't be fair. Carlos Rosa, welcome to the chat. How's it going, GT? I just came across your channel and have been binge watching your beginner guide videos. Awesome content. Hey, thanks, Carlos, man. I appreciate that, brother. Autopots work great. Any of those, bottom wicking kind of butt chugging systems, they all work fantastic. That ebb and flow system that I got now is pretty close to those. Only I just have one giant central reservoir with a brain bucket that feeds all of them. That tent with the Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer Gen 2 in there, dude, those colas, they're insane. They're on their water only week right now. It's some of the frostiest shit I've ever seen. And then the Ragnarok. Mwah, those fucking colas. The wife has been complaining about the smell on them. I've had the air cleaning systems turned all the way up, and she's not a fan of them, but it's not one of those ones where I'm like not allowed to grow it anymore. But she has been complaining about the Ragnarok lately. But those colas came out freaking massive also. And apparently Twitter is now going to be just open season, posting anything you want, or I think it's called X now. Anything you want, and they're very can of content friendly. So maybe I'll start posting more stuff over on Twitter, because supposedly it's supposed to be extremely can of content friendly now. So it looks like maybe I'll start posting more on Twitter. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's WGrow10. That is my Twitter handle. It's just at WGrow10. And then my new Instagram, we'll see how long this one lasts. Last one lasted like 8 or 9 years. GT_CEO. So the top one is my Twitter, and the bottom one is my new Instagram. If you guys want to come hang out, or go a place where I actually put pictures of stuff. Really busy here putting winter tires on cars. I get it. Oh, will lollipopping after week 2 flower cause plants to herm? Generally, the answer to that is no. So you don't actually start lollipopping generally until the end of week 2 flower. That is when and then I'll do it once a week. Let's just say Saturday is the day I'm going to be, okay, today's my training day. In veg, I usually have a day of the week, because I don't want to be in there like, oh, I trained some on Monday, and then I mess with the plants again on Thursday, and then I mess with the plants again on Sunday. I try not to mess with the plants that much. I kind of let them just grow during the week. And hey, every Saturday I go into the tent. That's my training day. I do everything. I'm training my veg plants, train on my flower plants, or clean up the flower plants, do whatever I'm doing. I do it all on the same day. So like, I'll go in there, I'll do all the training on the veg plants, and then on the flower tent at the end of week 2 is generally whenever I start lollipopping, because I can kind of see where my canopy is going to be and the level of which branches are going to make it up into the canopy. So once a week from week 2 through week 7, I will go in there and I will clean the bottom third of the plants, and it always works really good. I've never heard of lollipopping or any kind of training, or just flower work, just work on the plants, doing that kind of stuff. I couldn't see that as being a reason they would herm. The biggest thing that causes herms is light leaks. 100. It's light leaks. This is the main thing. Like, people think that their plants are in the dark, and they are not. And there's light coming off of these. I don't know if you understand like how big of a deal this is, of light being in your tent when they're supposed to be in the lights off period. It is a giant problem. The EnviroCleanse, I advertised for those guys for a freaking year, unsponsored, just because that product works so freaking well. I still have an EnviroCleanse in my house right now, and that thing still works amazing. I think actually our discount code from it was either 2021 or 2022. I think our discount code still gets you 20% off of that thing. If you still put my old code in right now, it still gives you a discount. I think it's like a 20% discount because those machines are expensive, but holy shit, do they work. Why do I have to be driving? I don't know. I drive a lot too, though, man. I drive all the time. Sleeping Giant was regular. The wives will always complain. Dude, I don't know. My wife is pretty freaking cool. She doesn't complain very often. Like, she loves going to the racetrack with me and watching me race. So my wife's pretty cool. I can't complain too much there. Have you ever grown any greenhouse? I just picked some up, Holy Punch, and can't find. I have not. I've never ever. I've actually heard of that place, so I can't help you there. Okay, thank you so much. I grow in soil, and the flowers look amazing, but the taste is not great. They are drying and curing on the point. That's why I'm wondering about hydro systems. Generally, the pheno that you have will have a lot to do with the taste, but also if your lights get too close or you get turn the lights up too high, you can have the best pheno on the planet and it not work out well. You'll burn all the terpene profile off of it. Other thing is, if you're drying or curing incorrectly, all that hard work, you always see me smashing hygrometers and stuff like that, unless we are in the drying and the curing, because then it becomes super important, because you can ruin a perfect row like that. Drying and curing is an extremely, extremely important to stay in these sets and to not get out of them, because you can ruin an entire grow like that. Wavy, you can grow them out for 6 weeks in veg and they'll show you sex so you can get them tested. You can do either one of those, or they won't always show you if they're males or females. Sometimes you can get the females to show you. They'll start popping those little white pistil hairs on the main stalks, but not always. You can't be like, oh, this one doesn't have any, it's going to be a male. It don't work like that. Sometimes the females hold out too. Generally what I do, if I'm unsure, I'll flip them all into flower. I'll put them in veg for like 2.5 weeks, flip them to flower, see which my males and females are, kill all the males, and then switch the tent back to veg and let the plants go back into veg. Because this, you never know how many you got. I've had people that they planted 10, they got 9 males and 1 female. Talking about you, Eric. So just really shitty odds. But then, I've done some where I planted 8 and got 8 females. So you don't know what you got until you really just throw them into flower. Or you can take cuts and flip the cuts. Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yeah, the air cleaner machine is called the EnviroCleanse. It's the best air cleaning. I'm not sponsored. This is not a sponsorship. If you buy one, and even if you use my code, I get 0% money from it. Fucking machine just works. They got 2 different versions. They got one with it's a double filter with no UV light, and then they've got one that's a double filter with UV light on the inside. I have the one with the UV light. All I do is change the filters in it like once every 4 months, and I just buy them by the case and then just throw them out. They got like a HEPA filter and then a pre-filter in it. It just works. Like, I got 50 something plants, like 52 plants in my garden right now. Usually I can have up to 54, but I think I have 52 in my garden right now. Unless I'm down there like actually messing with them, that will overpower the machine. But for the most part, you walk in my house, you have no idea there's plants in there. I'm stuck with a 400 watt light in a 4x4. Do you think, yeah, that light is too small for that tent? Usually a 4x4, you're going to want something around the 600 to 650 watts with the big spread out bar style. But you are under for your tent. So generally, if I'm growing in a 4x4, after I chop everything down, dried, I'm looking for about 1 pound that I want to pull out of a 4x4 every time, where I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a good grow. We pulled 1 pound out of there. With a 400 watt light, you're about 200, 250 watts short of what you could be pulling from that. So your results will be down further. than what you could pull, but you could still pull out, 3/4 of a pound out of that tent space with that light. But you will not get the most you can out of there because your light is a little bit too small, but you can still get really good yields with that. Look at this guy with all the live chats all of a sudden. Love seeing you pack in the swing of things. Well, dude, I mean, we were, if you notice, we took a huge cut in the amount of like live streams and stuff I was doing from over the summer because literally all of my attention was, after the Patreon got deleted, all of my attention was back to, it was a huge undertaking to build a new website and then get everything integrated and get everything running. I mean, we were working on it day and night, and it took months to get it up and running the way in the functionality. And we're still technically working on. We're still working on. The notification system. It's still a work in progress on that site. To get everything up and running and working and functioning. We just did our third, we did that first little tiny drop, kind of like the thank you drop, which we lost a bunch of money on because we only did the $1 shipping thing, and then it cost us $5 to $6 dollars per package we sent out as the thank you. And so, I mean, we had hundreds and hundreds of orders where we lost money on every single order that went out but I was just saying thank you to all the people that stuck with me while the Patreon was deleted and stuff like that. And we had no revenue coming in for the whole summer, but we still had all the bills going out every month. So it was definitely rough. And then we had a normal 3-shirt drop. This was the rainbow sherbet drop. I got that shirt on right now. I love this fucking shirt. And we're finally getting back into the swing of things. So, let's see. I gotta scroll back up again because I freaking top chatted me. That looks like a portrait of you hanging on the wall back there, right? The blue face guy. That's actually my son's self-portrait from first grade, and yeah, that's him. But that one's not me. That one's actually my son's self-portrait. And then there's a dinosaur he did in kindergarten. And then Princess GT right there. She made me that snake out of a paper plate because she knows I like snakes. But on the brighter side, we are going for our micro license here in my state, which means I would be able to open up a 5,000 square foot facility. So it looks like I might be actually selling my entire snake business. Just it's a fully functional running business. And so I think we have 80 plus snakes. There's clutches that are in the incubator. There are snakes that have eggs in them right now. So I might be actually listing my entire business for sale because if we get the micro license in a 5,000 square foot facility, they're just not going to there's not enough time for me to run both and then run the website and everything like that. And when it comes down to it, my main focus is the plant. And so I might be, all the equipment, ultrasounds, racks, systems, it's a fully functioning business. I might be selling just the entire business. You just answered my question. Awesome. Thanks. I like it. Hey GT, I've only grown female seeds. I just got 10 testers from a breeder. What's best practice to grow them for calling out males? So the way I do it is I will I would imagine these are not autoflowers. So I would just throw them all in the dirt, keep them 4 weeks in seedling, 2 to 3, probably 3 weeks in veg, flip them all to flower. See which one's the males, because the males you're going to be able to tell at week 2. You're going to see which ones are males. They're they look like cords of grapes. And the other ones, you have white pistil hairs. Take all the males, kill them, whatever. If you had 10, let's say you get 5 and 5. They're about your averages. Take your 5 females, put them back into veg, grow them up, and then flip them flower. Greetings, cannabis enthusiasts and plant killers. Hey, what's up, Essence? don't know if you're gonna find too many plant killers here. We've really turned that kind of statistic around. Like whenever I started doing consults, I don't know, it was like 7 years ago now. It was like the kind of plants I would have to like try to get get turned around were like what I was talking about earlier, a 3-gallon pot. You got a 6-inch tall plant with no branching, and it's 9 weeks in veg. So that's the kind of stuff I used to deal with, and now the kind of information we're putting out now is kind of like accepted. Whereas whenever I first started saying it, it was like blasphemy. The kind of stuff I was saying, like, what do you mean you don't turn your flower light up to 100% day one of flower? What do you mean you don't water every day and every time you water you fed? What are you talking about? Everybody knows that's what you do. I'm like, yeah, but look at my plants. I don't do that. My plants look better than almost everybody's. What up, Camaro dude? Welcome to the. I'm glad you finally caught live. I'm glad I was able to be here to help in the process with you, my friend. As a great coach of a fantastic new football team says, trust the process, dude. Go Bills. Dude. Josh Allen is just the man. I mean, what are you going to do? That guy has got the entire team on his back. I want to go to a Bills. I've been a Bills football fan since 1994, so for 30 years. It might have been 93, but let's just say 94 makes the math easy. I want to go to a Bills game. I see everybody like digging through the snow, trying to get to the seats. Like the snow drifts are up the same height as like the seat backs going down. I want to go tailgate with the Bills Mafia, watch people jump through tables, and try all the foods they got cooking out there in the parking lot. I want to go to a Bills game so freaking bad. I've always wanted to go to one, and I've just never done it. F Patreon. I couldn't agree more. What has happened to G-Boss? He made a slight appearance, and then he started to come back. Grill Boss mainly does. He has a paramedic YouTube channel that he has been mainly concentrating on. He used to be, I don't know if you guys know this, he used to be a paramedic, and he teaches people how to pass their national registry test. And that's the kind of like the YouTube he's been focusing on. I think he closed his grow shop, and he's been mainly focusing on that. He wrote another book for the paramedics, and he's been mainly focusing on that. If you get the license and open a 5,000 square foot place, would you start doing international full-time company? I don't know. Maybe. It's still really weird going across borders and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. I want to sample all of your grows. Well, WR, we get this facility. You might just have to come start working because we're going to need help. Like I run my facility pretty good, but a 5,000 square foot facility is going to be another story. So I might have to. You're going to have to come out of retirement. You can ride the dirt bikes. We'll set a little track up in the back. We'll get the lunch break. We'll get out the side by sides. The Bills and the Lions in the Super Bowl, dude. Sign me up. That would be freaking electric. I would love to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl, but dude, I don't know. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles and Saquon. I mean, do you see that guy like turn around backwards, hurdling people? The guy's an animal. It's gonna be. There's some really good teams. The 49ers just fell apart this year. They were so good last year. The 49ers just fell apart. It's a hell of an experience. There it is. He knows. I know Rick's been to a few Bills games. I just want to go get dressed up in my red, white, and blue, and I want to go with my big stocking hat on. I want to go hang out in that parking lot and tailgate because this is all rec legal there now, correct? So it's not a big deal can you smoke outside in New York, or is that still like, I know in the state I live in, it's rec legal here, but you're not allowed to smoke, like you're not supposed to be smoking like outside of your house unless you're in like designated areas. I knew the first episode I watched, you were my sensei. Gratitude. Hey, thanks, Cressy. Oh yeah, I want to go. Dude, I'll come work, no problem. Hey, thanks, Brandon. Floyd's volunteering. On it like a rat on a Cheeto. All right, we're getting a crew together already. I will move to America to work for you. That is crazy, Alex. You're gonna have to be over there in the UK for when we expand. I'm moving. Where do I get an application? I'm a 49ers fan. I don't know what happened to them. Dude, they just got so hurt. They got so many injuries this year. I mean, you can't. It's the same thing. Like, look at. I know everybody hates the Chiefs, but look at the Chiefs. All their receivers, they brought in all these people over the winter, and all of them got hurt in like the preseason. And you're gonna be so good, but if all your stars are getting hurt, that's the same thing that happened to the 49ers. They all got, they got so many injuries to extremely key players. They just got hurt. There's nothing you can do about that. Yeah, VIPs have first dibs on job applications. Legal to smoke anywhere. You can smoke cigarettes except the car. So in New York, you can just like be walking down the street and you can smoke a joint. Like that's how it is in Vegas. Like, I don't know if you guys have been to Vegas since they went rec legal. It's the Strip used to be an okay place. The Strip now smells fucking amazing. Like the second you walk outside of your hotel in Vegas now, I'm just like, I was like, this is fucking so nice. You just walk out, all you smell is these different aromas of weed. It's the fucking greatest. Like when you walk outside, the second you get away from that piped in oxygen from the casino and you get outside in the air, it's just like, and just this calmness just washes over you. Just like, I'm around my people. I'll be there at the tattoo meetup. Dude, how good would that be? It's playoffs, Bills in the championship game. Saturday, I go get my tattoo. We have a meetup. And then Sunday, we all go Bills Mafia tailgate all day in a blizzard. That sounds like a really fucking cool New York weekend. Nope, I see people right on the street corner smoking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because that's not allowed in my state. We're rec legal, but we can't do that here. It's still very like taboo here. It's very repressed here still. Talk about joining near the end. I just saw GT was streaming and hopped on. What up, Alien? When's the best time to start feeding P and K and flour? So I actually feed phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen. So your NPK, I feed them actually throughout the whole plant's life. But I want you to think about it. Even if it's plastic, I want to use that. I want you to think about it like a teeter-totter, okay? So, got it. So I want you to think about the nutrient schedule like a teeter-totter. So on one side, you have heavy nitrogen, and then on the other side, you have heavy phosphorus and potassium. But no matter which way it tilts, you're still feeding N, P, and K. So N, P, and K. Even if the N, P, and K is really light and the nitrogen is very heavy because you got a lot more loaded on here, you're still giving both. So like if you're growing in something like Fox Farms Happy Frog or Fox Farms Strawberry Field or their Ocean Forest, it has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in there. It's just the amounts it needs is different. That's why they have different lines, because it has different nutrient loads in it. So when you are in veg, you are going to be very heavy on the nitrogen and not as heavy on the phosphorus or potassium, but they are still in there. On the other end, when we get into flour, this kind of whenever we're at the end of veg and getting ready to go into flour, it kind of does this and levels out. You're giving equal amounts, transitional weak nutrients of N, P, and K. So everything is flat like this. But then as we start to transition, as soon as we really get out of the stretch, which is where we really start to go heavy, this in the table flips, where we get super light on the nitrogen and the phosphorus and potassium, we start overloading. But no matter which way this tilts, we're giving all of them throughout the whole grow, except for like the last 3 weeks of flower. We just stop with the grow nutrient or your nitrogen because you don't need it as much after the stretch. We still give it a little bit there in the week 4 because it's a transitional. Week 4 is a transition week. Weeks 1 through 3 are the stretch. Still really needs it. Still really needs the nitrogen. Still really needs the calcium. But when then we get into week 4, the stretch is over. We're in a transition week before we get to week 5, which is the start of our bulking. And then we don't need the nitrogen and we don't need the calcium anymore, which is why we switch out from Cal Mag to a Mag Sulfur. We still need the Mag throughout the whole life of the plant, but we don't need the calcium anymore. And we're switching out the calcium for the sulfate. Sulfate is the bulking agent. Just like if we eat too much salt, what happens? We retain water. The same thing happens in the plant. Plant retains too much water because we're adding all that sulfate in there, and it starts to swell and it starts to fill the buds out. That's why the buds look like you can rip them off there, fucking break a window with them because they're so swollen with water, which is also why we get so depressed after we cut them down because everything shrinks down because it's evaporating all the water out of it. I will handle the flower room, sir. North Carolina MJ laws suck. Yeah, I mean we are like rec legal here. We have medical and rec here, and it is still very repressive the way that it's treated here. Oh, what time is it? 1 o'clock. I'm gonna have to go soonish. I'm gonna have to go right now, but what time is it? Right now it's 12:50. So we're gonna have to go soon-ish, probably because I have to go pick my son up from school here soon. But we probably got another 20 or so minutes. It's funny to see all the people that would look down on you for being a smoker and smelling of weed and are now sitting and smoking their pre-rolls. God, is it bad that I sit there and I'm like, you're smoking pre-rolls? Like, that's the expression I get when I'm like, yeah, we brought all these pre-rolls. Like, usually you don't have to pay for those. That's like the trim they picked up off the floor, and they're like, oh, we're not just going to throw it away. We're going to jam it all in these fucking pre-rolls. Like, does that taste good to you? Like, are you enjoying that pre-roll? Because that stuff usually gives me a fucking headache. I've never been a fan of like, oh, you know, they're giving those out for free for a reason. That was the trash from the floor. They're like, we're going to do something with this. I've never enjoyed a pre-roll. I'll just put it that way. Dispo weed is dry as crap. Yeah, 100%. I've never left the dispensary and been like, this is the best stuff I've ever had. Never once. I mean, I am probably a little jaded because I grow really, really great stuff. And so it's probably hard. You have to remember as dispensaries, they get paid on one metric and one metric load, and that is weight. They don't get paid on terpene profile. They don't get paid on flavonoids they're getting to express in it. They don't get paid on any of it. They get paid on weight is the only metric they get paid on. So they're not getting paid more like, oh, this is maybe half the amount of weight, but it's really good. They don't get paid that way. They get paid that it's clean, it's not any mold and stuff in it, and then they get paid that on the weight, and that is all they base on. So that is how they grow. That is the reason you've never walked out. That is the reason you've never walked out of a dispensary and been like, oh my God, this is the most fire thing ever, because that's not the way they get paid to make it, which, I mean, I understand. It doesn't mean I want to support it, because like if I go buy 3.5 gram or an eighth here, it's $71 and it's mid if I'm lucky. It was really expensive out in Vegas too. Like whenever I went to the dispensaries out there, we went to Cookies and is it Planet 13 is the other big one out there. I went to both of them and spent a bunch of money. I was just like, meh. Pre-rolls are a sin. Yeah, exactly. The only pre-roll I like are the ones I roll. Yeah, that's different. That ain't the same thing. What you got to remember is pre-roll, when you get them from these places, there's a reason they're giving them out for free. So basically, once they're through their stretch phase, they will want more P and K. Correct. Just want to make sure I'm on the right path. Just harvested Grape Diamonds in Crescendo. Oh, the Crescendo, there it is. Pheno 100 third run. Nice. Yeah, but that is correct. So the transition really happens during the stretch. So during the stretch, the plant still pretty much behaves like it's on an advanced form of the vegetative state where the plant is still growing wider and branching and all that kind of stuff. The transition happens. There's a a transitional breakdown that happens. So when you go from veg, your last week of veg, to the first week of flower, the plant is transitioning from veg to flower. So that very first week of the stretch, week 1 of flower, you don't get a ton of stretch out of the plant because the plant is in a transitional week. So you went through week 4, right, let's just say, of veg, and then you flipped it to flower. Not a lot happens to the plant where they grow through that crazy growth spurt during that first week because we are in a transitional part of the plant's life. So you basically just keep feeding it as if it was still in the last weeks of veg, which would be equal amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium through, like, that's why you don't see a huge change from week 4 of veg through week 3 of flower. They're basically identical. Towards the end of week 3 flower, you kind of see that scale start to tilt with the P and K. And what they're doing is they're starting to load up. And where you really see the transition is in week 4. That's where that you get that huge jump from kind of equal parts to the phosphorus and potassium start jumping up. It's not because the plant needs it in week 4, is we are preloading, or we are loading up the roots and the media at the bottom of the pot for what is getting ready to happen, because not a lot happens in week 4. What we're doing is we're transitioning from the growth style, and we're getting out of that. We have a week 4 transitional week, and now we're into the bulking phase of the plant's life, which starts at week 5 and kind of maxes out around week 7, is where the bulking phase really just kind of, you stop seeing that super heavy growth of the yield. And then if you're growing it out, you're just kind of, if you're growing out past like week 8, week 9, you're really just adjusting what you want your trichome makeup to look like, and rather how much cloudy versus amber. You're not really getting any more size from then. You're not getting any size. So all you're doing is adjusting the amount of what you want your medicine to do, whether I want mainly cloudy or I want mainly amber, is all the reason we're taking it out. They're not really getting bigger past that point. But you're preloading up that soil because of the timing of it. That's the same reason at the start of week 4, we are done with the CalMag and we switch over to Mag Sulfur, because we're preloading what the plant's getting ready to need when it enters the bulking phase. That's the downside of legislation. It gives control to people that shouldn't have it. Yes, that is correct. I'm officially self-sufficient. No dispensaries needed. Yeah, I'm self-sufficient too. It's just like whenever I travel, like, you can't get on a plane. You can't take this stuff with you. So whenever you get on a plane, you like when I went to Vegas, I was actually excited. It's like, Vegas is going to have amazing dispensaries. And then I got there, I was super let down. Now, I do think Cookies was above just a normal dispensary, but at the same time, it was very expensive, and it wasn't like anything that I grow. But once again, they don't get paid that way. They get paid based on weight. I've been spoiled by having many jars of fire since I started growing your strains. Thank you. We should pass a vote on a GT dispensary, put the others to shame, and maybe, if mine will not be grown by weight, mine will not be sold by weight. Mine will be grown the way I grow stuff, and that is how it will be sent to dispensaries. And I think it will change the way that places do this, because I think you will be able to get rewarded for making actual top shelf stuff you could find at a dispensary. That's my plan, at least. Every 2 months, I'm on a reoccurring purchase. I get a box of Joker's 24 packs. There you go. I know a metric grower. They are receiving about $400 more per pound. Oh, God, sprayed on terps. Ugh. God. Should be illegal. Sprayed on terps should be illegal. Anyone that calls it pre-rolls goes to a dispo and don't grow flower. People who grow their own, great, banger ass flower, they're called cones, correct. Yep, grab a box of cones. The boxes of cones, they come in these little pack right now. It's just great. Have you seen like those machines where you can just slide your cone or your pre-roll onto it, and then you have all your stuff over here. You just hit the button. It's like, and it like fills it up and then pushes it off. It's pretty awesome looking. Like I get a commercial on my Facebook all the time. They've got like nerds stuck in the top little grinder bowl, and then they've got your raw slider here, and it's like, and it fills it up with crushed up nerds and like pushes it off. I was like, that looks like it's filled with ELB. Oh, oh. I harvested after the first snow. Smells blah and dead. Yeah, dude, you can't wait till it snows, man. You have to get it down before that. Awesome. Appreciate the advice. Novice or good growers, pay attention to GT. Great info. The info is always the same. So the info is always the same because it works, and it works really, really well. So I don't ever have to change it. Watching plants grow outside was absolutely amazing this past summer. Unfortunately, I harvested after the first. Yeah, you can't wait to the first. If you leave your plants outside after the first frost, you've killed it. You've killed off all the terpene profile. It's all dead. Will it still get you high? Sure. Have you killed off the majority of what you were looking for? Absolutely. You have the same effect as if you put the light too close to it. You cannot. That's why it's like my buddy that does outside grow in Maine. Towards the end of the summer, when it starts getting rainy and cold up there, they're out there. They have to spray the mold stuff on their plants every single day. He's out there with the foggers trying to get them to finish. And they have to play this very intricate dance because if they let that plant stay outside where it freezes, it's done. I have pistils during veg. Is it bad? No. So a female plant will, the longer it's in veg, will sometimes let you know, like, hey, I am a girl. It's nice to know, especially if you're growing regs. You see that, you know it's not a male. So it is not bad. It happens all the time. It is actually a natural part of this plant's life. On the flip side of that, if your plant doesn't show those little white pistil hairs before on the main stalk, if it does not show those, that does not mean that it is not a girl. Okay. On the flip side of that, though, if you're growing autos and you're getting buds, like the bud structure is starting to form with a bunch of white pistil hairs, that's different. You probably got an autoflower. I did find when I was in Vegas, it was expensive. Planet 13 had good, but it was overpriced. The other one I went to was trash. Yeah. So I went to Cookies and spent a bunch of money. And then I went to Planet 13, which was a really cool experience. That's how Dispensary should look. Like the Planet 13 Cookies was way smaller than I thought it was going to be, especially with the name like Burner has with Cookies. I thought it would be a bigger showroom. The weeds smelled fantastic. Was okay. It was, better than average, which is great for a dispensary. But Planet 13 is gigantic. They had like a restaurant in there that you could go to, and they had different showrooms. The bud tenders were all very nice. So I have a box of 870 cones from Zigzags. Nice. I'm in. Hey, what's up, Christian? I'm in UK. Just got on medical, so I'm legal. Kinda. The weed ain't that spoiled because of learning from GT. Nice. I actually had a company. I think it was 2 years ago now. They were getting their license for a facility, which is apparently very, very hard, like a real growing dispensary or cultivation facility in the UK. And they had me design. They contacted me and I designed their whole layout, flower rooms, veg rooms, what kind of electricity they were going to pull from what room, what kind of, like circulation systems, fans. I designed an entire layout for these guys. I designed their whole facility. They had the building bought and they had bought all the equipment. They were building it out. They were going to fly me over to like get everything started, and then I was going to come out like once a month to come in and check everything and keep it all running. And then after they had spent all this money and all these things, palms had been greased, and then everything fell apart and they didn't get the license after they had spent millions of dollars building out this facility. At the last second, they said they weren't getting the license. I felt so bad for those guys. But, we had actually I was going to be like flying over to the UK like every month. And I was going to be like planning like meetups and shit like that. It was going to be cool. Remediation should be illegal, dude. 100%. The best feeling, GT, is when I pull out some of your stuff that I grew. My buddies take a hit and go, ooh. Like, I know that look. I see it all the time. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Ohio's crazy. They told me the state tax is 8%, and then the Fed gets a 10% cut. Yeah, which is crazy to me that the Fed wants a cut, but it's still federally illegal. That is fucking crazy to me. I was born in New York, got out of there as fast as I could. Oh, I wonder what happened whenever you crossed it back to itself. Because since JCK was regular, I've never had a single. That was just regular male to female. So I've never even heard of it. Wonder what happened whenever you crossed it back to itself, because since it's regular, I've never even heard of a single person have a problem with it. I got to head to work. Awesome episode and great knowledge as always. Hey, thanks, Cosmic Man. Have fun. Yeah, apparently it's super strict here for facilities. Yeah, dude, they spent they were talking with the government, and the government was giving all the go aheads. They were issuing the permits for the building, and then at the last second, like, we were literally getting ready to fill the whole place up. Like, all the equipment, the lights were hung, everything. And at the last, like, literally, like, I don't know, I think it was like 3 weeks before I was scheduled to fly out there, it was like the whole thing like fell apart. They're not getting the license ever, kind of deal. It went to somebody else. I don't know what the fuck happened. So that was very sad for those guys, because they put so much money and work into that. And we had so many phone calls of like designing the layouts and everything. I was like, no, I want it like this. I'll do it like this, do it like this. Like, this is the building. This is how. Then they spent, millions building everything out. What's ETA on Cache 2? It's just went through finishing up its torture test. We've got Ragnarok that's going to drop before it, which is our collab with Dark Horse. That's Bruce Banner S3. You guys don't know Bruce Banner. It was at one point rated the highest THC line on the planet. So I talked with the guy, the owner at Dark Horse, and asked him if it was cool, and he said, yeah, absolutely. So we have the Dark Horse. That one's called Ragnarok, and that has Cache in it. Cache is the mother of it. So we've got that, and then Cache Generation 2, I'm hoping to do on the pre-sale to go live. I'm hoping for it to go live on 420 is kind of like my timetable for it, because we've got the hoodies and stuff that are being made right now. They should be in, I'm thinking, right about Christmas. The hoodies will be all ready. So like I'm hoping to get all the hoodies shipped from the time of Christmas out to New Year's Day. I'm hoping everything will be shipped out. If we can do that, I'm hoping the Ragnarok, it's with how popular Dark Horse is, it's probably going to be one of our biggest drops ever. So I've got the first design done for that for the drops, and I'm working on the other two still. I'm hoping to have that pre-sale like sometime towards the end of January-ish, and then that should all be shipped out towards like February, and then there'll be a slight break, and then I think Cache Gen 2 is probably going to be a gigantic drop. So Cache Gen 1 was so popular, it sold out in 3 months. So from the time it dropped, it was completely gone by July. Like, it dropped on 420. We did the double drop of Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer and Sour Grape Rock Candy. We did the double drop on 420. Cache Gen 2 was the fastest thing we've ever sold out of. Like, people were showing it off on Instagram, and everything was gone. Like, it sold out so quick. It was the fastest thing we've ever sold out of. Hey, what up? What up, Wheelchair? What's up, buddy? Packing bags and cones, heading to Vegas for the after parties. Yeah, everybody, like I had a bunch of the guys from like Rob and Mr. Grow It. They were all asking me to come out to Vegas too. I can't make it out right now. I got my son's got concerts, band concerts, and stuff like that. I just couldn't make it. They had resin to try to hide the poof, dude. That's extremely accurate. All the flowers treated. Ugh. Ugh. You see why I have trust issues and I just grow my own stuff. It's just, I don't want to smoke sprayed on chemical shit. I don't know what's in those chemicals. I don't know where it came from. I don't want my shit irradiated because it had mold and stuff all in it. So they had to irradiate it to treat it for it. I don't want any of that stuff. You don't have to poison the plant to make it great. The plant is great the way it is. Your shitty grow practices shouldn't equate to, well, we grew so shitty, the plant had bud rot and mold and powdery mildew all over it. So then we had to irradiate it. Well, that destroyed all the terpene profiles and flavonoids on it. So now we're spraying it with more fucking you're turning it into fucking cigarettes. You're turning it into cigarettes. You're turning it into poison. You're turning a perfectly fine plant into poison over regulation and shitty growing practices. It annoys me. Please never say never. I'm hoping to see that hoodie in the store for the Ragnarok drop so we can get one for the wife. I don't know. We'll have to see how this one goes because I have refrained from doing, like, people really want hats and they've always really wanted hoodies. And whenever we did the hoodies here, we only did a really short sale. It was like Friday afternoon through Monday. And then I closed the freaking store and we had like 500 orders. So we're going to have 500 orders of hoodies. There's going to be a bunch of boxes because they're big and bulky. We're going to have to see how the shipping goes. I don't know. Why can't we get the mugs for coffee bag? Oh, those are coming back. Those are coming back. I would say those are coming back probably around, and the Dougies. They'll be coming back for the cash drop. I would watch for those. When should I start looking for the roots on clones? Just cut my first ones last night. So it depends on what kind of system you're in. If you're in like a turbo cloner, works great for clones. It's a very cheap piece of equipment. Works really, really well. It is a form of hydro. It actually is hydro. But it works really, really well. Sorry, police siren driving by. It works really, really well. If you're in a hydro style system like a turbo cloner or an aero cloner, like the bubble cloners, you can start getting roots, the bubbling on this, like the side of the stems around day 9, day 12, your full roots. By day 15, you got to take them out. I never leave them longer than day 17 from the day of cut because then the roots all get tangled in my pumps in there because they're so big. If you are in in like soil or the little cubes, you're generally like day 21. It's actually quite substantially longer. I'm in the UK. I have to play the game. My mate just got banned for DUI. Ugh. Same here. I don't trust it. Yeah, exactly. Dude, fucking exactly. Stop spraying my fucking weed with shit. It's one of the main reasons I don't like Dispensary. Besides it being expensive, I don't have any clue does this really smell like this? No, because it tastes like shit. Stop spraying chemicals on my weed. Is it so difficult? Listen, if you own a dispensary, if you own a cultivations facility and your weed sucks and it's always mowing, bring me in for a fucking week. I'll show you how to fix it. I promise you I can do it. I won't charge you nothing. Stop growing shitty weed. I will fly out there. Send me a plane ticket. I'll come fix your shit. All right? It'll take me a week to show you the right practices. Start watching my channel. Stop growing shitty weed. I've literally got the videos for free. 700 of them on the internet. I have 700 videos. Just watch them. Stop growing shitty stuff. You know the nice part? Your revenues will go up. Matter of fact, don't. Let me get my micro license. I'm going to flip this whole fucking thing on its head. No way to get any hoodies right now. No, there's no way to get any hoodies right now. They all have been, they've all been ordered, prepaid, everything. Maybe a WTTGT football jersey. My audience is 97% male. That might actually work. Thank you for the hoodie, GT. I will cherish it. I only got myself one. We need, yeah, that will be that's definitely, so that will definitely be a bigger coffee size mugs. You ain't getting roots in the dome in 10 to 12 days. You suck. Yeah, I agree. But I don't want people to, it can take, I have seen it take up to, getting into that third week. But when you got to remember, whenever you're in the dome, in those cubes, not only you need the roots to grow out all of the sides. That's what I'm talking about. So day 21, the day I'm taking them out, is what I'm talking about. Is I want the roots through the cube, all four sides and the bottom. That's what I was meaning by day 21. Thin Leaf is the Walmart of Smith. It's GT for weed advocate. Spray church, yep, should be illegal. Yeah, 100%. GT, if you open up a cultivation facility, you need growers that come work for you. I'm looking to get out of New York, to be honest. Texas and New York and California are just atrocious, apparently. I'm in HGTV's new hit series, Garden Rescue. There you go. I just fly around like Gordon Ramsay, like how Gordon Ramsay would go to people's restaurants and they'd send out what they got. I'll go to do the cultivation facilities. Like, all right, give me your stuff out of your career room. And then I just go back into like the kitchen and start screaming at people. But I don't like to scream at people. But it probably wouldn't make good television if I didn't. GT, just seeing your PFG sticker on a car. That's awesome. GT, have you used Canna Nutrients? Great content, bro, from Wales, UK. I have used Canna. So if you go back to maybe 2019, I think I did a grow with them. Yo, GT, end of week 7 here. Huge plant, 1.5 meters each. All right. That's nice. Should I lower the intensity of the light? I got 2 lights, one 245, one 420. Thanks, GT. No, you would only lower the lights if you would only lower the intensity of light if the plant didn't like the amount of light you were giving. Other than that, keep it the same place it's at. Unless you've gotten too close to the light. Then you need to move it up or lower it. So the facility talk is for reals. Woohoo! Currently doing the happy dance. It's still in the early stages. We'll see. It's actually really, really difficult to get a license in the state I'm in. I heard from It's B Dig this morning. If you live in San Francisco and make $104,000, you are considered low income. That's probably true in San Francisco. Everything's very expensive there. What type of medium do you use? I use all of it. So we've done hydro, we've done DWC, we've done straight cocoa, we've done soil, we've done cubes. I haven't done a full perlite one though. I've got the air cube system. I could do a full perlite grow real easy. But we're growing all of it. I mainly video the soil stuff just because if you're new, I want you to stick with the soil because there's time. You're going to mess stuff up. You're going to mess steps up. So I want you to grow in soil because in soil you have time to fix it. If you make a misstep in DWC or hydro, the plants die actually pretty quickly. GT, you need to make more of the Spartan stickers and shirts. I can't. I only do them one time, man. You either get the shirts, just like this one. I'll never make it again. This shirt is really cool. I make the shirts one time. I like that. Trust me, it cost me a lot of money not to make the shirts because all the new people would like to buy some of the older stuff too. I like the fact that the shirts kind of act like a timestamp of when you were around or how long you've been around. The shirts kind of put that like stamp on it, like, oh yeah, look at this. I've got, original PFG shirt, or I've got the original like welcome to the grow tent like reflective logo shirt. I like that. Does it cost me probably a lot of money every year not having the shirts just be available to everyone? Yeah. But I think it's really freaking cool that you either got the shirt when it came out or you didn't. Whether you just didn't like that design or whatever. I really like that it was only available once and you either got it or you didn't. Now, does it make a lot of work for me to constantly make new designs all the time? Yeah, of course. But that's why I got this book that I make all the designs in by hand. What type of mag sulfur do you use? I use Botanicare Sweet, but I've also used Bud Candy in the past, or Flora Nectar. All three work fantastic. I mean, hell, if you're looking for mag sulfur, technically that's Epsom salt. So Epsom salt even works. Happy Frog, Ocean Forest, Fox Farm. Yeah, those work great. Yeah, they're exclusive. I enjoy the shirts being exclusive. Fire Giant, my all-time favorite. I might have. Let's see. I do have a few extras right here. Ones that we just had an extra for some reason. So we've got that one right there. There's more back there too. These were the ones that were right on top. So we've got the giant with the blue dragon and the cherry blossom tree extra. Check this one out. We have a sleeping giant named by Artful. And actually, if you look, Artful's name is right there in the logo. So if you ever come up with a name for one of my lines and I like it, I'm going to incorporate your name into the design. Somebody said the Fire Giant shirt. There that is. That was badass. We have the Magic Candy Mountain shirt. This one's been sun faded. And then we have the mashup one. I like to wear that shirt too. That's just some of them sitting back there in the corner. The dragon design. I don't know if we have. I don't think I even have any more of the stickers. Look at this. I found an envelope the other day. Check that out. A few of the original Purple Frost Giant sparkle slaps. I found this in an old envelope the other day. An old return. How cool is that? Some original PFG slaps. This was one of my first slaps I ever made. One of the first appearings of the giant. I only like shirts with stuff on back and plain front. I see, Stoney, I'm the opposite. I only like shirts where it's the front with nothing on the back. I don't like the feeling of the material change on like the back of my shoulders. What are your thoughts on the Green Grow Biologicals LLC organic line of nutrients? I think it all works. Can we breed a weed which has psilocybin in it? Yeah, I think you just call those shrooms. But yeah, so I get it, Stoney, but I'm the opposite. I like it on the front. I don't like stuff like on my back and shoulders. But I used to have a shirt. Actually, this shirt design, it actually had light blue and an outline blue, like reversal, like kind of like 60s concert show thing. It said relax, calm down, and focus in a circle. Right in the giant's armpit. Woo! How huge are the huge slaps? So this is kind of like the size of like the average slap. And then This is the size of the really big ones. Nope, there you go. So you can see how much, like, this is already a pretty big slap. You can see the size of my hand. And then like the rainbow sherbet one was pretty monstrous. So that's probably, the rainbow sherbet is probably the biggest slap we've ever made. And then you got the one that Delaney helped me design, the Wooberry one with Ricky GT and Bella. And then that was probably one of my cooler designs. I like that one. Yeah, shirts that have a thick design and will make your bat sweat. I've got the PFG and the original Leaf logo. Nice. I need one of those PFG slaps. I got 2 of them. I'm not going to sell them or anything. So just, Dennis, like, they have, because they went out in an envelope that got returned, and then I could never get a hold of the person. I just found them in a drawer. So they got like some slight like damage to them from getting shipped in the mail. So you can kind of see there's like some damage, like holes punctured in them. That's why I would never sell them. And then you can kind of see how it's like damaged right there. It looks like almost like a staple went through it, kind of. So I would never sell them just because they're slightly damaged. GT, I'm going to order some slaps tomorrow for my tent. I literally just got done cleaning it, and I'm going to start run probably the next couple of days because I get paid tomorrow. Yay. Woo! Hey, catch. Yeah, the store's Friday. The store should be open tomorrow for you if you want some stickers. Right now it's closed. Nothing in it. I started watching a couple of years back. Now my friend's saying I'm a pro. You probably are a pro if you've been watching for a few years by now. We've made some really, really great growers. Like my Discord, every time I get on there, I'm just amazed by like how great everybody's gotten. I'm so glad the wife allowed me to join the VIP. I'm glad she did too. Guys, if you'd like to hang out with me more often and check out my VIP, go to WTTGT. The last 3 letters. But check that place out. You can hang out with me way more often. If you'd like to hang out with me on Twitter, it's just WGrowTent. Right there is my Twitter handle. And if you'd like to hang out with me on Instagram, it's just WTTGT _CEO. It'd just be stickers for the weekend. If you were looking for stickers, there won't be anything crazy in there. I usually keep it open for the VIPs. But guys, if you'd like to hang out with me more often, do consults, one-on-one, all that kind of stuff, join my membership page, WTTGT. The last 3 letters that come on a website. Check that out. I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys later. I got to get going. We got to have to go pick the kiddo up from school here. I'll see you guys next time. Everybody have a wonderful week. We almost did a 2-hour stream. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend coming up, and the holidays are coming. So I hope you guys all have a really, really good time. Stay safe out there. Keep those plants green, healthy, happy. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.